Good morning.
Welcome to the Ashes to Rubies podcast and live stream. I am your host, John Ruby. Who are you?
My name is I'm Vicky.
Good to be here. It's a beautiful day out today. When you look out our window, you're like, wow, it's majestic. The snow, it's on the trees, it's glistening, it's sunny. And then it's
cold.
minus 20.
It's so
minus
cold.
20 degrees Celsius. It is a cold day. But good thing we got mittens and gloves and toques and scarves.
Good thing, because you were planning
all
on
the
playing outside
things.
later, weren't you?
That's my theory. Is technically most of us as adults don't really need winter clothing. We just need longer pants and we need maybe a jacket. But for the most part, most of us don't stand outside waiting. Unless you take the bus, then you might be waiting.
Yeah, and you need very warm clothes.
And if you're on the tram, you could be waiting days down there as it dislodges from its veers off. Was anything fun this weekend?
Lots of things were fun this weekend.
What was your funnest?
Playing Catan.
You played a game
with my nephew and nieces.
And how many people played? There was a bunch of you.
Yeah, we played like a 5-person game, but we had 2 pairs. We let the little kids partner up with us. It was fun.
Good. And my favorite was just you letting me stay home, and I watched a football game. So that was actually pretty fun, just to have downtime all by myself. All right, let's get into our morning meditation.
All right. So today's thought for the day. The 12-step program is more a way of building a new life than just a way of getting over drinking or getting over whatever we need to get over. Because in 12-step, we don't just stop drinking. We did that plenty of old days when we went on the wagon. And of course, we always started to drink again because we were only waiting for the time when we could fall off. Once we've got sober through the 12-step program, we started going uphill. In our drinking days, we were going downhill, getting worse and worse. We either go down or up. Am I going uphill, getting better and better? Meditation for the day. I will try to obey God's will day in and day out, in the wilderness plains as well as on the mountaintops of experience. It is in the daily strivings that perseverance counts. I believe that God is the Lord of little things, the divine controller of little happenings. I will persevere in this new way of life. I know that nothing in the day is too small to be part of God's scheme.
Yeah, I think that's an illusion that we're static.
You like to give the example of an airplane.
Plummeting.
And if an airplane is flying and you turn off the engine, what happens?
You plummet.
I like that
you're
picture.
not just soaring.
Yeah, I think it's a great picture. It's very helpful to think of. And then, I mean, it conflicts a little bit with the idea of I don't have to do to please God. I just need to be. And if I'm just being, am I turning off the engines? Or if I'm just being with God, does that being actually is that represented in the idea of the engines still being running because I'm being and I'm intentionally connecting with God?
I think it was the same as alcohol. Sitting at a bar, I'm just being with alcohol. I think there's nothing wrong with being with God. You're being fueled. You're being forming the relationship, growing in the relationship. I think it's interesting that it says going on the wagon. I think the saying came from the water wagon. I'm not sure where it came from, but I'm sure maybe it came from a bad place, but I don't know. But we go on the wagon as in I have some severe consequences in my life. Things are going downhill rapidly. And if I quit drinking, things will be better, correct? And so I'm just going to put a pause on my drinking. And then what it said was, once we got sober, it said on the water wagon. And then, of course, we always started drinking again. I don't think I planned on starting to drink, but I think once the illusion of going uphill had happened, I felt like, okay, we are progressing uphill. Things are doing good. We are in relationship where she's letting me kiss her cheek now, and things are looking pretty good, and they're going uphill. And then, but I never knew that I couldn't drink for the rest of my life. Like I didn't understand that whole concept. Like that was foreign because there was no way that I could not drink for the rest of my life. And so what it's saying here,
it just seemed an impossiple.
Yeah, like what
So
would be the point of that? Yeah, like I just have to do it differently so that I don't get in trouble.
Right.
But then it's also suggesting the concept of a disease where it's either I'm in progressive downward slight to death, or I'm recovering and it's going to go into remission. And so there's always that uphill or downhill. And I think we get in this delusion that we're static, because even if we go uphill, even if in the spiritual life you learn some things, I think you still apply those things. So it might look like you're kind of resting, but you're still going up in the fact that you're practicing the things that you're learning. It doesn't mean you're like gathering all this information. So I think there's this upward slant in the spiritually fit life. What did you find? And you Googled something.
I did, about the wagon.
The water wagon?
Yeah, so it was a water wagon that was used to hose down dusty roads. And so if you were on the wagon, it signified that you're drinking water, not alcohol.
Okay. And you're getting rid of the dust.
The picture that I had is like that you fall off the wagon and you get blasted with this hose that they would use to clean the dirty road.
And then I'm full.
That's just the picture.
That's a great picture, because then I'm full of self-pity, indignation,
I'm laying in the ditch getting hosed down.
I'm getting hosed down. How dare you hose me down?
Right.
Thanks for the water, but I gotta go somewhere and get something else. I gotta get spiritually connected. And it's funny how they call alcohol spirits, because that's what I needed. And when the pressure was too high, that's where I went to.
Do you have anything come up in your morning meditation today that you wanted to share with us?
My books are. My in my meditation, the word that I like to ask God, what will you have me be? Like I don't really have to ask, but in my meditation time, I'll hear something that sticks out. And today was be wise. And so in the spiritual life, in the physical life, if I don't have a plan, the plan is to fail. And that is so true. Like me just trying harder has never really worked in anything.
Right.
And if I have a plan and I'm wise and I implement structure, plan, pattern, routine. I wrote down words. No, here's all the words that I wrote down. Rhythm, momentum, daily, routine, pattern. And I think that is wise in my upward tilt, going upwards in my spiritual life. And so implementing wisdom and reaching out to people to help, because I'm not an expert. Like I think I'm an expert in all areas, because like even my physical life, like recently I'm in the middle of some things, and I'm like, I could say like, well, I played competitive sports. I played the football and the rugby, and like I know how to be fit. And it's like the reality is, I know very little about fitness. Like I really do. I've gone to the gym periodically through my life. I've done sport, but I don't know fitness, because it never really mattered. But in my head, I do. But now that I'm 50, I'm actually going like, I know jack crap about so much stuff. Like I know very little. And so actually being wise and bringing in experts. Because like the cost of our physical life, either it's the same thing. I'm going up or down.
Up or down.
And up's a bad thing on the scale. Amen. All right, what's our prayer for today?
I pray that the little stones which I put into the mosaic of my life may make a worthwhile pattern. I pray that I may persevere and so find harmony and beauty. I pray that for you. I pray that for you too. And for you. And for me. Until next time, keep the peace, be of good behavior, and have a great 24.